for the year 2027. And it has also decided that for the period 2030 to 2034, the presidency of the Commission will go to Liberia, subject to Liberia meeting all the criteria for the allocation of the position of the President of the Commission at the time of allocation. With those words, I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Excellency. Ladies and gentlemen, now you can ask your question. Let's start by the first name, Arise News. Your question.
Just one.
Just one?
Yeah. Thank you.
Please, you can come and use this mic.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Umarman. I work in the Rights News channel. We've seen one coup too many in the region, and it's becoming trouble. And I also know that even the leaders in the ECOWAS region are not happy with this trend. What is ECOWAS doing to see that we don't get together and talk about peace again, so that the region becomes more united and democracy is sustained?
We all know that coup d'etats constitute major setbacks for all our countries, and what ECOWAS leaders have resolved to do is to ensure that there is zero tolerance for unconstitutional change of government, and they have gone further than that to say no constitutional change of government will be tolerated. And I think the example they set in the Republic of Benin is there for all of us to see.
Thank you, Excellency. The next question is for democracy, radio democracy.
Good evening, Excellencies. I'm Mr. Kabi. I work for Radio Democracy in Sierra Leone. My questions are, what tactical roadmap does ECOWAS have for restoring constitutional order in countries under military rule? And also, how will ECOWAS balance sanctions with dialogue to avoid further hardship on ordinary citizens?
For now we have two countries that are under military rules, which are members of ECOWAS, the Republic of Guinea and the Republic of Guinea-Bissau. For the Republic of Guinea, we are expecting a good elections, or at least elections on the 28th of this month. And we hope that will put an end to the transition that they have been in for the past 4 years. For the Republic of Guinea-Bissau, ECOWAS renews its total rejection of unconstitutional change of government and calls for an inclusive government that will reflect the political landscape as well as the society of Guinea-Bissau. And that is a point which is extremely important, because you have some political actors who are out of the game, and ECOWAS insists that each and everyone be given the right to participate in the process of restoring the country to constitutional order. And regarding the fine balance between sanctions and the interests of the common person, ECOWAS is fully alert to this. And as I've said, the sanctions they are talking about are supposed to be targeted sanctions, but that's also conditional on conditional in the event the engagement fails or the dialogue fails. So it is going to be smart and targeted sanctions that they are envisaging.
Thank you, Excellency. The next question is from Sierra Leone.
Very Your Excellency, Ibrahim Sabra from SLPCC. I have two questions. The first one has to do with Guinea. And you earlier said the authority is impressed or satisfied with the progress made so far by the federal government in Guinea. What parameters do you use to ascertain that? The second question is has to do reports have shown that prolonged transition of powers is a major factor for coup d'etat. Can you explain this?
Well, at the beginning of the transition, ECOWAS and the authorities of Guinea have agreed on a transition roadmap, agreed on a number of milestones, and the majority of those milestones have been achieved. There have been constitutional reforms, constitutional referendum, and then political parties have been registered, and the process is on course. So that is the source of the satisfaction that the leaders have indicated. I'm conscious of the fact that that could be, you could argue that that's subjective, but this is the basis on which I think the leaders have expressed their satisfaction. With regard to the prolonged transition, I'm not too sure if I understand the question, but you see, we really need to stay away from the noise and look at the facts. Just look at the recent coup d'etats in the sub-region and those removed through those transitions. How long have they been in power? I'm not saying there is not one, or perhaps there is one that has been there and there have been attempts to fiddle with the constitution, but apart from
we have now agricultures.
Hi, thank you, Nick from AFP. So just to clarify, does ECOWAS believe that Guinea-Conakry's polls will be credible and competitive? Because a lot of people are worried about the exact opposite. Some a bit surprised about the confidence that you have. And secondly, you mentioned the need to negotiate with AES states about security concerns. I'm curious what needs to be improved between ECOWAS and the AES states. Thank you.
Well, we're talking about the future, so what we can talk about, what we can say is that we hope the elections will be credible, transparent, and fair with regard to any country, including Guinea. So that is our hope, and hopefully it will be a transparent and credible election. There's so much I can say about Guinea. Now, with regard to the negotiations with our former members of ECOWAS, Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali. I think we formed one community, and we've been bound together by a number of legal texts. And the fact that you leave a union or a community would require some sort of dialogue on the future. And this is what we plan to do. We have been together not only with regard to peace and security, but we are together on trade, on free movement of people, on banking, on investment, and all that. So we will have to sit, engage each other, and know how do we go forward in this new dispensation. It is critical to note that we might leave institutions or community, but we cannot leave the region. Therefore, what affects one group affects the other group, and this is why it is important for us to communicate and dialogue on the way forward with regard to joint efforts against insecurity in the region.
Thank you, Excellency. Rosanna Almeida from Cabo Verde.
Perhaps by English, mais je
Attendez,
en train de parler.
D'accord. En français ou bien
Parler en français.
D'accord, allez-y.
Je veux savoir sur le Guinée-Bissau, la liste des élections ont été transparentes, avec beaucoup d'ordre, que les gens sont participés de forme tranquille et que vous rejetez les programmes de transition. Qu'est-ce que vous allez faire, CEDEAO allez faire, avec qui CEDEAO va parler pour le programme de nouvelle phase de Guinée-Bissau? Qu'est-ce que CEDEAO va faire à côté de cela? Le deuxième, le français c'est pas bon, mais je pense que monsieur m'entend. La deuxième question, c'est sur le futur de CEDEAO. On a parlé beaucoup de futur, instabilité dans la région, les citoyens ne se revoient pas dans la politique de CEDEAO. Qu'est-ce qu'il y avait que l'équipe a décidé sur le futur de la CEDEAO? J'espère que mon français, je suis des enfants, et mon français a été entendu. Merci.
Très bien, merci. Tout d'abord, pour les élections en Guinée-Bissau, selon les observateurs de la CEDEAO et de l'Union africaine, les élections, le jour de l'élection a été bien passé et partout dans le pays. Donc c'était transparent les processus et c'était aussi, je crois, paisible parce que nous n'avons constaté, en tout cas les observateurs n'ont pas constaté des crises majeures. Donc c'est sur cette base-là que nous disons que les élections ont été bien passées. Mais d'avoir une élection ou des élections est totalement différent d'avoir des résultats. Le problème, c'est que nous étions en Guinée-Bissau et nous avons rencontré le président du CENI, le Conseil national de l'élection, il nous a confirmé que les résultats ne sont pas disponibles. C'est ça qu'il a dit au président Madabio, le président en exercice de la CEDEAO. Donc, pour nous, selon le règlement ou la constitution bissau-guinéenne, je crois la seule autorité à prononcer les élections, c'est la CENI. Et la CENI a bien souligné son incapacité de prononcer les élections parce qu'ils n'ont pas les résultats physiques. C'est ça qu'ils nous ont dit. Pour l'instant, jusqu'au contraire, la CEDEAO doit se baser sur ça. Et de voir si nous pouvons accepter les résultats des autres. Est-ce qu'en acceptant les résultats des autres, nous n'allons pas marcher contre les règlements ou la constitution de la Guinée-Bissau? Parce que selon la constitution, c'est seulement le CENI qui peut prononcer les élections ou les résultats. Qui seront les interlocuteurs en Guinée-Bissau? Bien sûr, c'est le gouvernement, c'est les autorités actuelles, c'est eux. Mais si la CEDEAO dit qu'ils rejettent la transition actuelle parce que ce n'est pas inclusif, alors la CEDEAO demande un arrangement beaucoup plus inclusif parce que selon le chef d'État, il y a des acteurs qui sont détenus, qui sont arrêtés et on ne peut pas accepter un arrangement qui n'est pas inclusif. Donc la CEDEAO insiste sur l'inclusivité, sur un processus inclusif. Et pour le futur, je crois que vous allez me laisser partager avec vous le rapport de cette séance de réflexion parce qu'ils ont touché, ils ont abordé pas mal de sujets. Merci. Okay. Okay.
Two last intervention with addition of the president's.
Thank you, sir. My name is William Thomas. I work for TVCD. My first question is a follow-up to the question she just asked. There was a report after the Guinea-Bissau election on actually credited to our former president that the president handed over to the military. Are we expecting sanctions from ECOWAS to that president for that action in order to deter, since the ECOWAS regional body is strict on ensuring that there are no more coups in the region? And then also, usually at meetings like this, we have a vote of who's going to be the next authority of state chair. We don't know why that's probably going to happen at this meeting. And then the AES states, are there discussions on transitions with the current government? Do you have an arrangement that is discussing on transitions with them? Last question from Chinese television. He wants to know the resolution taken on the special debate of the future of the community, since it's the theme for this meeting.
Thank you. If we are expecting sanctions, I did indicate that ECOWAS wants, first we are giving priority to dialogue. The leaders want to give priority to dialogue. If dialogue fails, our text provides for sanctions. And those sanctions, the communique will indicate that sanctions are on the table. And it will be applied on any institution or any person found to be contributing found to be working against efforts to return the country to constitutional order. So whoever that person is. The transitions in other countries, as you know, the AES countries are not part of ECOWAS, so we are not discussing transition with them. We don't have the mandate, we don't have the authority anymore. And the resolution on the special segment on the future of the Union of future of the community, this will be communicated because the leaders, all the leaders have made extensive pronouncements, and that documentation will be made available with your permission in due course.